Welcome back to another Wednesday on the Pagan Perspective. I'm your host, Yucca, and this week we've been talking about casting circles. So, I'm actually filming this on Tuesday, and I have to apologize. There's a bit of a breeze today, so hopefully you're not getting too much of the mic disturbance. Um, but I decided to film it a little bit early because I came out, because I did a ritual this morning, which I will cut to in just a second, in which I needed to spend a little bit more time, make it a little bit of a bigger deal. So I went to one of my special spots, my dawn spot, and you'll see in the footage in just a moment that it wasn't quite dawn. I didn't quite make it out at dawn, but still early morning, still with the morning birds. But it was something I needed to for myself. I needed to do some release of some frustration, some anger, and some acceptance work for myself in terms of accepting, allowing myself to set boundaries and some stuff like that. So, since I was going to be doing this ritual, I decided, and we were perfect, we were talking about casting circles. I just went ahead and set up the camera to show you how I cast a circle. Now, I'm going to cut it off afterwards because it's not going to be very interesting to just see me sitting there. So I'll just show you the how I cast a circle. Um, and let me cut to that right now, actually. Okay. So, and then I just sit for another, I don't know what it was, 15 minutes or something, because the work that I'm doing is all internal. So, this, what you saw there is I um, began by I usually start with east, but since it was the morning and the sun was there, it just felt great to start with east with a little bit of breathing and welcoming. And by turning to each direction and breathing in, just welcoming it in with my body, facing that direction. I think I dropped my hands down a few times and returned them to my breath. Um, and then moving in a circle. And for me, that is enough to enter into a real strong ritual space. My feet made that circle, and that was all I felt was necessary at that moment. But my take on casting a circle is it's about creating that sacred space, that ritual space. And so sometimes using symbols, using tools can be very helpful. It's not it's not obligatory, right? You can still cast a circle without. That's what I did right there. But sometimes having an object, if you're working with physical things in your ritual, in incorporating that could be very powerful. One thing that I could have done is had objects that represented the directions to me or the elements or whatever it was that I was working with and held them as I cast it, or maybe drawing a literal circle. This is something that I feel very practiced on, so I didn't feel like I needed those physical elements because what was happening was mostly internal. And I didn't use words, but some people are verbal people, and the words can be very powerful. Some people speak and they literally welcome East or whatever it is that they're working with. Some people have poetry. I guess the idea about casting a circle is getting something that's going to get you into that space. And there's different traditions, and sometimes seeing different people's approaches can be really useful. And that's why I decided to share, just to show you and me actually casting a circle. Um, and you know what? I didn't get because the recorder on here has a time limit, but I didn't get the opening of it. And so the opening of the circle for me was essentially the same thing, standing up, but then um, moving the opposite direction. So returning to normal awareness and normal space, I think, is a really important part of just of ritual hygiene. So I apologize, I didn't think to get that at the time, but yeah, you just, for me, it's just going the opposite direction. So now I'm hanging out in this beautiful, gnarly old juniper stand, and I got a lot of work to get back to, but I wanted to share this with you and would love to know if, for all of you, was what I did familiar? Is that similar to what you do? Do you do something very different? What is a circle to you? And if you're comfortable, what is it like when you, if you practice it, what's it like when you do? So thank you so much, everyone, and until next time.